Yeah, hello, my name is Michael Cannon, and I'm actually discussing on a topic called cybersecurity attacks. And the purpose of this is to better inform you and prepare you for any type of cyber attacks with hackers hacking into mostly having access to the HVAC systems in which the hackers can actually pick the HVAC vendors' vulnerable spots, and then set up access points throughout. And that would gain access to actually would gain access to the most critical data information, and they can actually leave that worm program into the system for as long as they want. And also a bit of history. We also There is also the Equifax data breach, which caused millions of people's credit score to be affected, in which they were not able to buy a home, buy a car, or or take out a loan at that point. Now there are four different types of actually four different types of hackers. The ethical hackers. Now those are the ones that are authorized to work on trying to track down the most sensitive information and the virus and eliminate the system. Also, you got your malware hackers that are unauthorized hackers, which they actually install malware into the systems and also causes systems to crash or information to be compromised. And the third one is the hacktivists. They're the ones that they still make unauthorized access to the computer systems, but they don't steal any money. Their goal is to try to make a political statement to the their goal is trying to make a political statement to governments, corporations, etc. So in conclusion, I know I did say four. I just didn't know what the fourth one was. As I did mention, the cyber attack is mostly done with certain malware viruses, ransomware viruses, and also worm programs that may make the data undetectable. That may make the data undetectable when they're trying to infiltrate the data. And the reconnaissance is when the information is gathered by the vendors, most vulnerable, the HVAC vendors, in which they have in which most hackers in which they would enter at that vulnerable point. Now they also would search for entry points into target systems for access into the most sensitive file, and they use vendor credentials as an access point for the they use vendor credentials as an access point, making the company believe that they're talking to the vendors when in fact they're actually in contact with the hacker. Also, they also the next phase would be gaining access by installing a point of sale malware. That's what we call black POS. And the next phase is mostly gaining access, moving literally across the network. And they are very persistent in staying inside the system for weeks. And they also cover their tracks by using a worm program in which they indicate that the information is not really gone. They're just shifting data. And also the there are four hackers. You got your black hat hackers they use target and Equifax attackers for financial gain. You also have your state sponsor hackers, and those are the ones that are linked to Chinese military actions. You also have your activists enter the system anonymously to make political statements to governments, corporations, just about anybody. And you have your script kiddies that have pre-built tools without deep knowledge. And the only good hacker would be the ethical hacker, which they're meant to penetrate any systems to look down and eliminate any worm, malware, ransomware, or virus. In conclusion, the cyber attacks, they do follow a 5-phase methodology, and they target Equifax breaches demonstrate real-world impact. And also, the small vulnerabilities within the system can lead to massive damage. And organizations, like vendors, must consider patching it. You consider making the networks more secure by patching systems up and monitor the networks. Well, that actually concludes my project on cybersecurity attacks, and I thank you, Professor Oliveira, for listening to my presentation.